A lot of people in my previous video said how dare I not show the purple drop from raids at the end of the video. I specifically watched until the end for the drop and it didn't show it. And to those people I say, I am sorry and I want to make up for it. So here is the drop you all been asking for. Hello ladies and gentlemen, silver lining of being poor is that your chances of getting into a Lamborghini accident are significantly lower than it is for a rich person. Yes, you don't have a Lamborghini, but you're also much more likely to live, even though don't get me wrong, you still are poor. Do you want to know another poor guy who didn't make it? This tomato. Yes, this used to be a person. Well, okay, actually a monster. It used to be a lesser demon, almost. According to the lore, Aggie tried to summon a lesser demon, but it ended up being just a messed up experiment, and now we have a tomato in place. I cannot believe how many times I used this tomato on my pizzas in the past years. And that little piece of information made me wonder, is there any other fun facts in old school RuneScape you should know about? And it turns out, there is. Like for instance, did you know that you can make your Avas device burp? Yes, there is a mechanic where under very specific circumstances you can make the chicken inside your device burp. And here's how you can do it. Firstly, make sure your equipment tab is filled to the brim with items so metallic items from Ava's device can't spawn there. Next up, make sure you also filled out all your inventory spaces for the same reason. Then you have to make sure the item itself cannot be dropped on the ground. For that we have to enter our POH in building mode. If all three criteria are met, the chicken inside your device has no other option but to guzzle up the juicy steel arrow, and in return it makes a yummy burping noise. This can also be accomplished while you're sitting in your POH chair or deep underwater. Yay! They say you're not supposed to pick your favorite fun facts, but I'm not gonna lie, this is my personal favorite. After completing the best quest in old school RuneScape rat catchers, you can get a special variant of a cat called Wiley Cat, which are the strongest version of cat in old school RuneScape. But these cats having the highest success rate of catching rats is not the only thing they're capable of. First, to get a Wiley Cat, come board Serim Rat Pits and talk to Well Crash. She will allow you to turn your overgrown cat into a Wiley Cat, if you want to. This is a one-time process and your cat can't be reversed, unlike your Netflix subscription. Felcrash also allows you to pick a name for your cat. The obvious first option would be Deathrune, but unfortunately you can only choose a name that is 6 characters or less. Trust me, I tried to go through a few options, but nothing just seemed to hit the spot. Until I found the perfect name. Meet KitKat. Now, she can do amazing things, one of them being able to catch butterflies. Yes, cats in RuneScape can catch butterflies despite giving you 0 hunter experience and rewarding you absolutely nothing. In addition to that, they can also catch Calphite larvae, which unsurprisingly also gives you 0 experience and yield. For now though, KitKat will live out the rest of her life eating premium raw tuna from GE and hunting mice. Ever wanted to see people suffer? Me too. And today I have just the perfect nugget for you. When I got my rogue's outfit, I dreaded the experience. Mostly because I don't even train my thieving anymore, but also because the only people that actually enjoy rogues then are the people who also preheat their microwaves. So to get back my enjoyment, I realized that there is an option to spectate other people who are also trying to complete the minigame through the viewing gallery. And boy, it is so much more fun seeing other people suffer than doing it yourself. So whenever you feel sad, just come here and watch other people be sad as well. Here's a quick farming tip for you. Filling out compost bins is tedious and time consuming, but there is actually a much faster and better way to do it while also farming your watermelons on a patch. If you manage to click on your farming patch, click on the watermelon and click on the compost bin on the same game tick, the player will continue to farm the watermelon patch while simultaneously fill out the compost bin. This will allow you to do basically 2 things at once. From now on, I don't want any of you Ironmans wasting precious seconds on doing this separately. I believe in you. You can do this. Here's a fun fact. I am getting closer and closer to 20,000 subscribers, so please help me make my dreams come true and become the 127th best old school RuneScape content creator. Thank you very much. Now, I know the next fact will make some of you say out loud, why would you do that? And the answer is simple, because I care. So, I bought Cowtuber for 700k. Actually, I bought 2 Cowtubers for 1.4 million GP just in case one doesn't work. I planted both of them just so I can harvest Coutweed, which is untradeable. And I wanted to find out this niche little way to get herbs from Sanfew because it turns out he trades Coutweeds for normal herbs at the rate of 1 to 1. So after I lost all my money, I headed over to Sunview and turned my goutweed into herbs. And it turns out, yes, this is indeed the most inefficient way to get herbs in old school RuneScape. The more you know. There is an item that, like burnt food, can only be traded person to person, and that item is called Amulet of Nature. Its only purpose is to track one single farming plot for you just in case it gets diseased, and it was intended as a secondary mechanic if you didn't have patch protection nor compost, and it has an extremely interesting way to make it. Firstly, you have to get magic roots and use those on spinning wheel to get a magic string. Then you have to attach an emerald amulet to the string and enchant it to make the Amulet of Nature. Funnily enough, the magic string can be bought from GE as well, and it has around volume of 70 to 80 items traded per day, which shows you how forgotten it is. And yes, it is pretty useless, but I find these nuggets the best ones, items that nobody uses anymore. In the quest My Arms Big Adventure, Burnt Meat speaks about an adventurer that came by earlier and makes fun of this adventurer's name. However, the name actually isn't random. In fact, it's the name of the last person that completed the quest before you. So essentially, since now I completed the quest, Burnt Meat is gonna make fun of me to the next player that comes by here. I guess you could say he's the biggest troll in RuneScape. Sorry, I had to say that. There is an interesting interaction with one of the cocktails in the Gnome restaurant minigame, and it's called the Drunk Dragon. You need 32 cooking to even make the cocktail, but you can still burn it. How do you burn a cocktail, you ask? Good question. The answer is that there actually isn't the burnt cocktail item in the game, so instead of receiving the 130 cooking experience you would normally get, you will receive exactly 0 experience for the cocktail, despite successfully finishing making the drink. Whenever you are woodcutting, whenever you are mining, you have always known that when I level up my skill, my chances to mine or cut something also go up, and the truth of the matter is, you have been lied for your entire life. Dun dun dun. Yes, sometimes a higher level means your experience rates will go down. Let's take maple trees for instance. At level 81 woodcutting, your chances to cut a maple tree are higher than it is at level 82, and it's almost 0.5% faster. Another case is Motherlode Mine, where your chances of getting golden nuggets increases by almost 0.5% every 14 mining levels, and then drop down to a normal chance after you level up one more time. You can see at level 71 mining it's 3.13, and at level 72 it's back to 2.73, and this goes on until level 99. The reason for this is actually extremely complicated, but explained to me like I'm 5 years old is that the game engine sometimes divides the numbers in the wrong way. So even though your chances of catching monkfish should be higher at level 75 fishing, it's actually about 0.5% better if your fishing level is 1 level less. Okay, next up, this is a fun little fact. Whenever you have an empty beer glass in your inventory and you talk to one of the bartenders in Gielinor, a completely new dialogue option appears where the bartender offers to buy the beer glass off you. Unfortunately, this is not very profitable since the beer glass is bought only for 2 coins despite costing 50 GP in the Grand Exchange. Oh boy, this episode is getting expensive, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let's do a quick fire rounds. There is a one-way agility shortcut on the inner side of North Wall on Yenil that has no agility requirements, no marking on the minimap, and no animation when using. It's just a leftover design from the actual shortcut that is few steps south. Kebabs are a free-to-play superfood, the best one out there. It has 21% chance to heal you for 15 hit points on average, accompanied with the message, "That was a good kebab, you feel a lot better." And it has a 4% chance to heal you for 30 hit points, and you even gain attack, strength and defense boost. The Monkey Bridge of OK is technically an object, not an NPC. They couldn't make an NPC that was non-moving and sitting in a chair at the time, so they built him as an object, which is why if you hover over him, his name is blue, not yellow. And a bonus one, found this recently, if you use Mithril Siege you can get into the room without having to get permission from the guards. Take that, monkey security. Marks of Grace are actually just frisbees Grace uses to play with her dog. You collect the ones that got stuck on the roof for a reward. Her dog is also modeled after Maud Matt Kay's dog. And finally, the weight of sawdust is the same weight loss from converting woods to blanks. This was your quickfire round by Kriibus. Back to our normally scheduled fun facts. When I was a kid, I did the quest Pirate's Treasure, and I always wanted to find a way to smuggle the Karanja Rum out of the island in any way, shape or form. Unfortunately, it just isn't possible. When you try to travel off Karanja, it will get confiscated. Even a ring of caras won't work in a dialogue because apparently you will dance for joy and it suddenly breaks the rum. And even rants won't let you take the rum across the sea. Not to mention it will instantly break if you teleport anywhere. Entering Tar City, POH portals, fairy rings, entering Shaila village, all impossible to smuggle. Not to mention this also means you can't bank it, let alone bring it to the mainland. There is even this funny interaction where a monkey steals your rum if you use the cart system to travel to Shaila village. Or another one where if you try to use the parcel service with Ryanesta using trading sticks to note items, it doesn't even allow that. My favorite screw you line is trying to use the inboxes and the notification says, "Don't you know, you can get into trouble for giving alcohol to minors and I am pretty small." It has to be said. It was impossible. Until a very simple trick was found by the wiki team. It turns out you can smuggle the Karanja Rum with the following methods. First, you have to drop it on the northern river bank outside the western side of the village. Then use Karanja Glow's tree to teleport inside the village and use telekinetic grab from inside to get the rum, and it can be banked and brought to the mainland now. It blows my mind that this item is 22 years old and only a few months ago a new method was found out how to smuggle this item in. It just goes to show you how many amazing fun facts there are out there, and every day we find new ones. For now though, I thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this series, please consider subscribing and I'll see you all in a few days with another video. I love you all. Bye. Mwah.